Hi everyone, I'm Amy Booth and welcome back to the BlueRose Kennels YouTube channel sponsored by Canine Chronicle TV. Today we're going to start a new series on this channel, one that's called Ask the Professionals. And we're going to start it by going around the show today and asking some of our top professionals about their favorite collars and leashes and why. So stay tuned so you can learn from some of those that are the experts in this field why they use a particular collar and lead. Here we have terrier expert CARUSI, and he's going to do a quick explanation of what a Resco leash is and why he likes them for his terriers.
So this is a Resco. I always prefer to use a Resco on a terrier because it's the only leash that I know that can have them hold their silhouette in movement as they're standing. So when you use a chain, they carry themselves differently when they travel around a ring. So again, I always prefer to use a Resco whenever possible.
And how does a Resco work?
How does a Resco work? Well, there's a little clip on it. It goes up and it goes down. Pretty simple.
And if you're showing a different colored dog, do you change the color of your Resco?
Well, I only use two colored Rescos, either a black or a brown. Some people like to use white, but I never like to use a white Resco because the white is usually whiter or filled with dirt and looks dull in comparison to your dog. So I always use a black Resco on a white dog, and I always use a brown Resco on a brown dog.
Thank you. And now we have Diego Garcia, all breed handler, mostly working dog specialist, but he's going to explain his favorite collar and lead and what it works for on what breed and why.
Hi everybody. I try to use no very thin collars because the dogs, they getting very sensitive with the ears, and even when they move they try to always get those shoulders and the necks a little down because they feel uncomfortable. So I always try to use a little thicker, and then it's good for training. You can use nylon too. Nylon, it really helps for training or during the week. And at the shows, like I said, I always use just a little thicker because it's amazing how much they can change the dog. You know, the dog can change the whole picture, even going around or down and back. You can see those shoulders drop off and the neck. You know what I mean? So try to, in my opinion, when I use a little thicker collars, it really helped me a lot.
And I noticed on your collar and lead that you have right there, there's no clip on the leash.
No clip, no clip, because you never know, depending what breed do you show. Sometimes you have clips that are very safety, but sometimes they are not very safety. So this is, for me, it works really good that you can tie it up straight to the lead, the collar, and that helped me a lot too.
That's beautiful. Thank you very much, Diego.
Thank you.
And everyone, this is Michelle Scott, who needs no introduction. She is going to explain to us one of her favorite collars and leads and why. She's an all-breed professional handler as well, very well known. Here's Michelle.
Well, this is a retired show lead, but I'm very much about soft nylon collars to start. And for my leashes, I always have special beads that have to do with the breed or where they are from. So, like for example, the Siberian Husky was from China, so he had little Chinese flags and special beads that were important for him.
Well, that's very good. And then do you have a clip on that lead to collar?
No, I do not do clips because I unclip them.
That's perfect. Thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome.
And now we have Justin Smithy, another all-breed professional handler and breeder of several different breeds. He's going to describe one of his favorite leads for one of his breeds and tell you why he likes it and why he uses it.
Okay, today for the French Bulldog, I use the Resco because it is soft, and if you have a dog that has a lot of natural carriage, you can just put the lead on, ask it to come with you, and off it comes, and it doesn't have any kind of reprimanding to it. It just comes along with you in a very kind way.
And the color, why is the color your choice? So
I use white because I have a cream dog.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Justin. And now we have Sporting Group especially, she's an all-breed handler, but sporting group specialist handler, Kelly Fitzgerald, gonna tell us about her favorite collar and lead and why.
Well, I have used a white Resco for many years, mainly because I show English Premier Spaniels, but I also show English Cocker Spaniels, and I use a black Resco when I show those. So basically, I use a Resco. I'm very old school, and I think it's a great way to teach a dog carriage to get its head up rather than go with the chain or any kind of a choke collar. So Resco is my lead.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
And now we have professional handler Maddie Peterson going to explain her favorite show collar and leash and why.
Hi guys, so my favorite collar and leash is all one piece. It is called a Resco. I like the solid color, simple leash. I think that if a dog can show on this, they can show on anything. It is a very soft lead and it doesn't apply a lot of pressure to the neck. And I think it's a great training tool to use for dogs, and then you can move to the fancier leads as they get older.
Do you like to switch the color depending on the color of the dog?
I do. I feel like I use black the most because that's kind of fits most of the dogs we show. I use this on our red dachshunds. I think it pulls in the black color of their nose and their eye pigment and their ear fringe. We use the red or brown Rescos on, we have a red Australian Terrier that we use it on. So I feel like whatever looks best on a particular dog will kind of go towards.
Thank you. Okay, now we have my husband, Phil Booth, professional handler of most breeds, and he is going to describe one of his preferred methods of using a collar and leash and why.
Hey there. One of my favorites or most comfortable thing is a dead ring, and you can make them different ways. This one happens to be out of a choke chain and a Resco just put together, so there's no tension around the neck, not like a choke. It's just dog's head goes in there, and you can kind of position their head on the move when you want. But one other thing that I do is on my leads, I'm not big into the beads and the fancy leashes, so my Rescos, sometimes you'll see knots in them. A lot of people used to do that for best in shows or group ones or whatever, but not me. A lot of different dogs, as you move them, their speed will change or increase, decrease, and this gives me an opportunity to give a dog a little bit of leash, then something to grab onto as it comes out of my hand, as it's sliding through my hand. Just something I like to keep comfortable.
So kind of like changing gears. If you're changing gears, the dog's going a little bit faster, you know you can give it a little bit more leash.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes it's if you're looking to hang on, if they get going too good. Thanks.
But why does the dead ring, why would you want it to be where the collar doesn't close in tight on the dog?
For me, I think some of the dogs that I show don't like that choke chain thing, and they fight it. Or if they try and go into the lead, the tension's going all the way around their neck, not just under their chin. And I just find this it's a lot easier to work. It's a personal preference between the handler and the individual dog. I don't do this on all breeds. Typically, I'm not much one to put the leash under the ear. I just don't. I can't really tell you why. It's just I try and look for what's most comfortable for the dog.
You find a difference between using a chain on the end of a Resco as to just the softness of the Resco?
Yes, on some dogs. Some dogs you can use just a Resco, which I do like. But some dogs that are a little bit more active or more apt to misbehave, I put the dead ring with a chain.
And the color of the collar is, looks like it's like a rose gold color with a brown leash. What is the color significant for, or signify?
The one I grabbed first when I made the dead ring.
All right. So it doesn't match the color of your
No,
dog?
not necessarily. I mean, I'm not going to put a black Resco on a white dog, but I don't go too much for matching.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
And now we have professional handler, all breeds, mostly sporting dogs, however. This is Robin Novak, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her very favorite collar and lead.
This is my go-to for relatively new dogs and English Cockers, a lot of Springers, especially puppies. It's a martingale lead, and what it does is it goes around their neck like this, but it doesn't choke them. It gives them some extra support, and I kind of call it our steering wheel. It helps you guide them around the ring without too much pressure around their neck, and it gives them a lot of sense of security. So this is my go-to when I have new dogs and new puppies.
How about the color of your collars and leads? Do you like to match them with the dog that
I
you're
like them to
showing?
match the dog that I'm showing because I don't want to draw attention away from the dog. It's not about the lead, it's about the dog.
And there used to be a trend years ago of putting knots in the leash for numbers of best in shows. Do you guys still do that?
We don't typically do that, but we do have we have our favorite leashes for the dogs, and we're very superstitious about those dogs staying on those leashes.
Very good. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you.
And now we have professional handler Kristen Lyons. Well, actually, she's a breeder owner handler and professional handler, primarily in sporting dogs. And Kristen, what is your go-to collar and lead, and why?
For an English Cocker Spaniel, it is a martingale chain, which has the same effect as a Resco. It just is more of a chain. So if you have a dog that can get up and into the lead, it gives you a little bit more leverage than a regular cloth Resco.
And that's a martingale that you're holding?
Yes.
And the significance of the beads in your leash?
No significance.
You just like them because they're pretty?
They're just pretty.
And do you try to get the leads to match the color of your dog?
Nope.
Just whatever looks good?
Yep.
Thank you, Kristen. Just a quick peek in on the toy group. We were talking about the various different collars and leads, and you'll see very small, refined collars and leads on the dogs in here. They match the size of the dog. Well, that wraps up our first video on Asking the Pros. We hope that you learned as much from it as we did. I thought it was very interesting how so many professionals had such similar answers for different reasons. So that's something we can all learn from for sure. If you like what we're doing here on BlueRose Kennels YouTube channel, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell anyone that you think that might like it. Also, feel free to watch us all the time on Canine Chronicle TV. That's it for now, and we'll see you soon in our next video.